So I think it could have easily gone for a couple of hours more, and at least some of you put me through the ringer. So well played, everyone. I want to try and reflect a little bit on things that you can find, similarities you can find between chess and business. I mean, we often talk about the similarities in strategic thinking and so on, but what exactly, where exactly do they lie? It seems to be one of the things you need both in chess and I would think in any aspect of life is to first of all know what your goal is. It sounds mundane, but for instance, when you get to a chess game, your goal is not to play a beautiful game, it's not to win a piece here or there, it's to somehow win the game. And somehow everything is subordinated to that. In fact, chess is a bit extreme because you don't get any points for winning a pawn, occupying a square, putting a knight in a lovely central square and so on. It's very extreme, it's 1 and 0. In fact, even if you play the game very well, you botch up at the last move, your opponent gets the full point. And that's, I would say, maybe a cruel aspect of sport. But it's important to keep that discipline, that till the point comes in, you cannot relax. The other aspect of this is that sometimes you have to stand apart and get some distance between yourself and the game, and stay focused on the point. There are many chess players who have this difficulty that when they get too absorbed in the game, it's too fascinating, they lose on time, or they make a series of excellent moves, but then the last move they spoil. Any number of these things. And sometimes it means you have to be brutally practical. You may have to take the second best decision. You have to, sometimes say, well, I'm never going to be able to figure everything out. I'm just going to play the best move I can and press my clock and put the pressure back on the opponent. But that discipline, I think, is probably the main thing that you can connect with chess and business. You have to decide what your goal is, whether it's sales or market share or whatever, something, and then stay on that, because there are lots of goals along the way which look like you're getting there, but besides the point. The second thing is that you have to strive for objectivity. Now, you may be optimistic or pessimistic as a person, and you may present a very optimistic face to the world, but that's not objectivity. Objectivity is what face you present to yourself. So you must know internally what you're aiming for, and you must always have a realistic appraisal of the position. Believe me, at least we try. Chess is very complicated, and we're very far from, even at the highest levels, you're very far from being able to be objective all the time. But there are a couple of people who, someone like Karpov, if you ask me what his strength was at the peak of his career, it's that he was never emotionally affected by what went before. So imagine that for the first 20 moves of the game, or maybe from move 20 to move 30, his opponent had been better. And then somewhere he slips up and the game turns. Now you have to be very objective here. You have to be able to sort of ruthlessly cut what happened before and say, what's the position now? Is white better or black better? If white is better and I'm black, then I'm going to play for a draw now. I'm going to try to hold it, and vice versa. But you'll be amazed how difficult it is when you've sat there for 4 hours and you let a win slip from your hands, that you keep trying for what is no longer there. And I've seen Karpov pick up tons of points like this. He hangs in there, he just defends, and when the game turns, his opponents don't turn fast enough. Few more moves, he's better, and he seems unprofitable. But equally on the flip side, if he's better and he botches it, he knows where to stop, cut his losses, and move on. And this objectivity, again, this shouldn't be confused with what you show your opponent.